The knock came just after midnight. 3 soft raps. Hesitant. Familiar. I'd been awake, sitting in the dark. Old habits. 25 years and I still couldn't sleep past 2 a.m., the hour the hospital caught fire, the hour my daughter supposedly died. I didn't move. I watched the door through the window reflection, the faint outline of myself, a ghost watching another ghost. Then a voice. Dad? It wasn't the word that froze me, it was the tone, the breath before it, the way it slipped through the wood like smoke, fragile but certain. I opened the door slowly. She stood there, soaked in rain, trembling. Early 30s maybe, but the eyes, those gray, piercing eyes belonged to someone I hadn't seen in decades. My mother's eyes. My dead mother's. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "I didn't know where else to go." I didn't speak. Couldn't. My throat locked around her face, her voice, the impossible resemblance. She reached out with shaking hands. "It's me, Dad. It's—" She said my daughter's name, the name I buried in 1998. My heart didn't beat faster. It stopped altogether. We sat in silence for an hour. The rain outside became our clock. She told me fragments, half-truths wrapped in confusion. A hospital fire, yes, but she said she wasn't in it. She was taken before it happened. "I was sold," she said quietly, eyes staring into the mug of untouched tea. "To a family overseas. They told me my parents died. They showed me fake death certificates." I didn't believe her at first. Grief warps memory. Hope is the cruelest drug. Then she showed me the photo. A child in a hospital bed, wrapped in white, asleep. I remembered that bed. I remembered the stuffed bear beside it, the one my wife bought, the same bear in the photo. She spoke of things only my daughter could know, the smell of my cologne, the way her mother sang off-key, the blue scar on her knee from falling off her tricycle. Every word was a knife in reverse, pulling open a wound I thought had long scarred. When she said, "Mom knew," I almost laughed. I thought grief had broken her mind. But she looked straight at me, eyes wet, voice trembling with a kind of certainty that made the room colder. She's been paying them for years, $50,000 a year, to keep me hidden. For 3 days I lived between memory and madness. I didn't confront my ex-wife, not yet. I smiled when she called about our usual alimony confusion. I said nothing about the woman who came to my door. Instead, I collected proof, quietly, carefully. First, the DNA test. I took her toothbrush when she left for the motel, sent it overnight, waited. The lab report arrived 2 days later. 99.9% match. I didn't cry, I didn't smile. Just silence. Thick, suffocating silence. Then I dug deeper. Old bank statements, records from the divorce. My wife had claimed mental health leave every year since the fire. Yet her accounts showed consistent withdrawals, $50,000, always in May. I traced the routing numbers, offshore transfers, the same pattern, same account, to an agency, a name I didn't recognize. When I called, pretending to be a potential client, they spoke in cold, rehearsed tones. "We handle delicate adoptions." My blood chilled. Delicate adoptions. The words didn't fit in my head. That night, I drove to my ex-wife's house, parked across the street, watched her silhouette move through the living room, calm, comfortable, drinking wine like she hadn't buried a child. I remembered her screams in 1998, the way she clawed at the ambulance doors, the way she told the police, "Our daughter's gone, she's gone, she's gone." Now I wondered how much of it had been an act. I didn't call before showing up. I wanted her unprepared. She opened the door wearing a silk robe, her hair in loose waves. The same woman who once shared my grief, my bed, my life. "What are you doing here?" she asked softly. I handed her the DNA report. She looked down, confused. "What is this?" I didn't answer. Her eyes scanned the page. The color drained from her face. "Where did you—" she started. "She came to my house," I said, cutting her off. "She called me Dad." Her hand trembled. The paper slipped. For a moment I saw the truth flicker behind her eyes, the flash of a secret she'd buried for decades. "She was alive," I whispered. "You knew." Tears welled up, but her voice stayed steady. "I did it for us." I laughed, quiet, humorless. "Us? You couldn't handle her condition," she said quickly. "The doctors said she'd never walk, never live a normal life. They offered alternatives, a couple who could give her more. You sold her," I said flatly. Her lips parted, no sound. 50,000 a year, I continued. You didn't pay them to hide her, you paid them to keep quiet." The silence between us was surgical. I watched her crumble, hands shaking, body folding in on itself like a confession collapsing under its own weight. "I thought I was protecting you," she sobbed. "Protecting her." "No," I said, "you were protecting yourself." I didn't raise my voice. I didn't touch her. I slid a second envelope across the table. Inside, the bank records, offshore accounts, transfer receipts. "Everything's printed," I said. "Every transaction. Every lie." Her breath hitched. You're not going to?" "I already did," I said. "She knows. The police know." Her face went white. "You turned me in?" "No," I leaned forward. "She did." Her knees buckled slightly. She gripped the counter like the world had tilted. "She came to see you last night," I continued. "She wanted to hear your version. I told him not to, but she needed to see for herself." My ex-wife's eyes darted toward the window, as if expecting someone to be watching. "She recorded it," I said quietly. "Every word, every excuse." A sound escaped her, a low, guttural cry, the kind that comes when someone realizes they've run out of places to hide. "She'll decide what happens next," I said, "not me." I turned to leave. She reached out, grabbing my arm. "I loved her," she said. I looked at her hand. Small, weak, the same hand that had once held our newborn daughter in a hospital bed. I pulled away. "No," I said, "you loved control." And I walked out. The next morning I drove to the old hospital site. It was gone, replaced by a parking lot and a plaque that read, "In memory of the lost." I stood there, watching the wind move across the empty space where my life had split in two. She called me once more that evening, my daughter, her voice steadier now. She said the police had taken statements, that her mother would be gone for a while. "Are you okay?" she asked. I told her the truth. "I don't know what that means anymore." Silence. Then she whispered, "I still want to know you." I didn't answer. Not because I didn't want to, but because I didn't trust myself to want anything at all. Some wounds don't heal. They calcify, harden, become something else. I looked at the old photo I'd kept in my wallet, a family smiling in front of a fire that never really burned out. Now, the fire had finally gone cold. I dropped the picture into the river and watched the current take it. It didn't sink, it floated away. And for the first time in 25 years, I didn't reach for it. Some truths don't set you free. They just show you who built your cage.